Up Villiers Street to Trafalgar Square, up Haymarket, past the bustling theatre goers and crowded restaurants, then into Piccadilly Circus, usually one of Julia's favourite places in London. Growing up in Manchester, she'd considered London to be the most romantic, exciting city in the world. Her parents had fed that passion when they brought her and her brother for a weekend break in the capital when she was about 13. She'd been completely enchanted by every element. The noise, the crowds, the skyline, the shops, the history, the sense of purpose and busyness and being at the centre of things. And Piccadilly Circus had epitomised that for her. She remembered standing squashed between a lot of other tourists next to Eros, gazing at the bright lights and the route master buses swinging past and thinking, this is it, this is where I belong.
Buena Vista Book Club travelled to Walthamstow in North London to meet with local author Helen Chandler.
Hi, I'm Helen Chandler, author of Two for Joy. Welcome to Walthamstow in East London, which is where I live, where I work, where I write and where my book is set. And here it is, the book itself. I was very pleased with the cover design. You've got the lovely silhouettes around the edge of London and Brighton and other things which happen in the novel, and so it's got that real sense of place reflected in the cover as well. It's a beautiful design. I think that London definitely inspired me to write, and there was never any question in my mind when I started writing Two for Joy that it was going to be set both in London and in Walthamstow. I knew that Julia, the main character, I knew her home was going to be very similar to my home, and that's what I had in mind when I wrote it. Where Julia hangs out and has coffee, that's where I hang out and have coffee. They say that everyone's first book's a bit autobiographical. Mine certainly isn't autobiographical in the situation Julia gets herself into, but in terms of where she lives and how she lives her life, it very much is. Here we are in the Deli Cafe in Walthamstow. It's a place very close to my heart. It's just round the corner from where I live, and although I do work at home sometimes, it can get a little bit lonely or a little bit isolating. So when that happens, I just pop round here, settle myself down at my favourite table, get my laptop out, order a fabulous hot chocolate, and I can spend the day writing here. And that way, if the writing's not going so well, I can do a bit of eavesdropping, a bit of people watching, hopefully get a bit of inspiration. I love being out amongst people and having that sense of community, even though everyone's wrapped up doing their own little thing. This cafe is the closest thing I've got to an office, really. It's where I've written quite a lot of both of my books so far, and I expect I'm going to carry on coming here. I know Walthamstow is the place I'm always going to call home now. I'm still a northern girl, I've still got my roots very much in Liverpool, but this is where I can't imagine anywhere else being home for me now. This is it, it's the perfect place to write, the perfect place to work, the perfect place to set my books, the perfect place to make friendships and bring up a family, and yeah, it's home for me now. So here we are in the heart of Walthamstow village. Behind me is Vestry House Museum, where I had my wedding reception. One of the older buildings in Walthamstow. It's been the workhouse, it's been the police station. Just over there is the old fire station. There's a row of almshouses. This was the heart of village life. Everything anyone needed was here. It's the perfect model of a little English village that just happens now to be in the centre of London. I only really write about real places. I don't think I've invented any places. I've always got a very clear idea of place and where things are happening. So Julia lives in Walthamstow village like I do, but she spends a lot of time in central London also like I do, and her and Toby, the lead male characters, you know, when they're going through a bit of angst walking around the city and seeing it reflect their moods back at them happens a lot. I think all the characters go through their little stories. They all have distinctly low points in the book before they end up with their happy endings, and that reflects life. I mean, perhaps in life things aren't always tied up quite as neatly as they are at the end of a novel. You've got to have that check and balance. You need to have the difficult things so you can appreciate the good things. There's a proverb, I think it's a Spanish proverb in translation, which is something like, "Take what you want and pay for it, says God." And so you can get what you want in life, but there'll be a price to pay for it. And I think all the characters experience that, and I think they do all end up achieving what they want, but they all have had a price to pay for their happiness in the end.